Hey Pomona, thought I'd just record a screencast for you so you had a better idea of what I was hoping to sort of acquire in the flyer that I'm having you design. So I'm just going to go ahead and outline each of the days and then kind of go through the questions that you had below and some of the responses to each of those. So this conference that's going to be hosted is actually a 3-day series of workshops. Now you'll notice here at the top it says Cafe Week, title pending, and the reason for that is because there have been some transitions with the department, and the name Cafe may not actually be the name of the department that it currently is housed in, and so it might actually be called the Center for Teaching and Learning. So on the flyer somewhere on there, and I'll show you kind of an example. This was last year's, remember this was the one that we sort of looked at in that PowerPoint format, and it has Cafe Week written up here, that you could just put a placeholder title, something that's editable, so that when the official title does come in, that we can put something in its place. And again, I don't know when that will actually take place and with the rebranding, but I'll be sure I have that information for you in its finality before it gets sent out by the end of Friday of next week. And that gives people that want to go to this conference about a month to be able to sign up for it, and I'm able to collect the responses and decide the catering options and all the other stuff. Okay, so it's a 3-day series of workshops. Day one is sort of the kickoff event, and again, for a lot of these titles, and this is why I would hope to have the editable format of this flyer, some of the titles might actually change. Many of the presenters' information will likely not, but I just filled out as much as I had of the 3-day series that I was able to compile. So day one happens August 20th, which is Monday. That's the kickoff event, and they're covering the one book series and reading. This is going to be hosted by Dr. Lawrence Potter. He's the Dean of College of Art and Sciences. He's requested a 4-hour time block for that, so I saved him, kind of a 2-hour time block with 2 each. He will be sending me the descriptions to those, which is why you'll notice I just sort of have them highlighted. It says description, because I don't have his proposal yet, and I'm hoping to be able to have that soon from him. Then that same day there'll be lunch, followed by our keynote speaker. She's coming in from Cal State Northridge, Elizabeth Berry. Her title is, she's the author of Learning from Learners, the name of her book, and she's also the former faculty developer at Cal State Northridge. She'll be our keynote speaker. You'll notice for each of these it has a title written in bold. You don't have to indicate this is just for my notes, the 75 minutes, because that's what she requested. You will need to indicate the time. That's the time she has been asked to present, the location, which is in 206, and please cross-check this with me because I get the ASC and the ACC confused, and I'm pretty sure it's the ACC, but it's the room that you usually work in and Brian works in. It's the tech space for the grant, so just double-check it is in fact ACC. The presenter's name is listed below. That's usually underlined in the description below based on what she gave me. The brief bio section has been left empty for now, but I'll be giving you that information because I would like a separate section that has boxes like I kind of showed you in the sample, that has a brief description of our guest speakers and some of their credentials and where they come from, to sort of highlight their accomplishments. This area here, the title, One Book Workshop Faculty, is kind of a to be announced sort of TBA session. That hasn't been finalized. I'm waiting on Dr. Potter to give me that information, and that might be a possible collaboration with an organization called Tri-Cities. So anyways, just leave a little placeholder for that, and then if we are given the green light to be able to conduct that session, then we'll sort of put that description down here below. Day two occurs August 21st. And each of these will have themes. So I sort of encapsulated each of the seminars or the workshops into 3 different hubs. So the first day, and again, I'm open to the creativity that comes with that. We can situate them so they look like little umbrellas and hubs, or I don't know, the design element of that it would be endless. But whatever suggestions you have to sort of highlight those individual themes, would be really great because they do have thematic components to that. Again, day 1 is the kickoff event, one book a reading. Day 2 is called student support, mentoring students in first generation or first year student support. Feel free to change some of the copy on this, the text, because again, I just sort of put this together on the fly, so if there's a better way to say this, feel free to be able to do that. One thing I did want to note as a change is this area here. Actually, I'll go ahead and delete that for you. His wife will not be able to join us. So that used to say Karina Bayes, but now it just says Gabe Bayes. He will be our keynote speaker for the day. He's presenting at 9:30 in the morning, has a brief description of his session here. He will also be providing me a brief bio. I actually have it somewhere on file. I can just send out that information to you, but I need to look for it and edit it. Then the next session will be Nancy hosting the best practices in working with first-gen students in the cultural wealth model. The description is here below. Sorry, I'm just sort of editing this now as I am recording this screencast. So the description is indicated there below. That's what the session's going to be about. Then that will be followed. And note the times, there's a 15-minute gap between each. Please double check this for me just to make sure that all the time slots are actually in accordance with having a 15-minute break between each session. This allows people to kind of, meander around, get some refreshments, talk to each other, and that sort of thing. But they should be in 15-minute blocks, the breaks. So then the next session before lunch is the academic advising one. This is with Amanda Santos. That goes from 12 to 1. There's a description below. Lunch each and every single day. I've tried to make it very uniform so people expect lunch to be served every day at the exact same time, which is around from 1 to 2. And then all the afternoon sessions take place at 2:15 and onward. So lunch again is 1 to 2. Then that's followed by a civic community engagements session. This is civic engagement opportunities. You don't have to put this at the end. It says flex. That's just for my notes. But that runs from 2:15 to 3:15. The presenters are here below. Again, if the copy needs to be adjusted so that I have people's appropriate titles and that sort of thing, that'll come later, but just give me room to be able to kind of do that so I can make those changes. The description is followed below. These do not have to be included at all in anywhere on the poster or the flyer. This is just a note to myself that there's going to be 1 or 2 spots open for that particular day. What I do suggest you can kind of do just for those days, so just I have like a visual image of what that looks like, is on the flyer. Just whatever you did for this one, the one book workshop thing, that's kind of a TBA, do that for these 2 sessions as well, so that I kind of know, oh, okay, we still have 2 sessions that are open on one particular day. Then the final series of workshops occurs Wednesday, August 22nd. This one is themed Excellence in Your Craft, Teaching and Scholarship. And so all these seminars that have to do with using different technologies and tools and pedagogy and teaching and like how that couples with research. So the morning sessions will pertain to like teaching and new methods and that sort of thing, and then the afternoon will be comprised of research opportunities and research analysis. So again, similar thing, I'll go through each of them in the morning. We have Amy Zhang, she's from the library. She's doing a session from 9 to 10:30. Victoria Nesnick, there's no description or bio, but just sort of use the same format for the Victoria Nesnick sections. I have her as kind of a TBA for 2 sections. I'm waiting on her to finalize that. Lunch is scheduled from 1 to 2. And then the afternoon we have the following sessions. This is all for research. They don't have a topic title. They're supposed to get that back to me by Tuesday, give them to be able to do that. So that might come in a little later, just save some space. Hopefully if you remember, one of the images that I showed you was that table format. So it had the long sort of rows that allowed you to add more text to it. So hopefully that the copy fits in that. Anyway, so there's the topic. Presenters are here. They're from the Office of Research and Sponsored Programs, or OSRP. ORSP, sorry. That is approximately around 2:15 to 3:15, but go ahead and just put that as the solid time and include TBA on that because I'm still kind of massaging the timelines there. Then the next is an intermediate stats and SPSS for research. The presenters indicated here, and then the time and the description. Again, if you could just leave a little placeholder for the final time slot here. This one only has one time slot that's available in the afternoon, whereas this had two. And again, just use this format as, you know, similar to the one book workshop. That's kind of a TBA. You don't have to put the maybe sessions in there in any of the flyers. So maybe session there on Tuesday looks like this. The maybe sessions for that on Wednesday. And the reason for that is, at least in this case with these individuals, that person and this person, I have not heard back from them, so I don't want to put them on the schedule unless I get a confirmation. This is me. I'm just sort of a space filler. If anyone cancels, I'll go ahead and just be a stand-in for that. Some of the questions below, it looks like I only have 5 more minutes left because I'm using Screencast-O-Matic. I don't have a license for that. I know I'm super cheap. The title of the conference, again, just go ahead and if you could use the title that's current right now, which is Fall Cafe Week. Again, this may be changed later to the Center for Teaching and Learning Conference, so just save room. We don't have a logo or anything for it, and so once that's actually finalized, then I can kind of create a logo for it and send that to you so you can insert it. Time, date, and location. The times are all indicated above. They're all different. The location will be ACC 206. Again, please double check this for me because I don't want to redirect them to a different space. This is also going to be the same information that'll be posted in the printed out posters, and I am planning on having 2 printed out posters. One's an 18 by 24 and one's a 24 by 36. One that just sort of leads them up the stairs to get to the conference, and then the other will be right in front of the room. And then the dates that are posted are August 20 to 22nd. Speaker names and titles are indicated in the sheet above, but I will also give you some more detailed information on this as well. The keynote speakers, we have 3 of them, and they're Elizabeth Berry, Gabe Veas, and Victoria Nesnick. And I'll give you their bios and all that information, all that good stuff to you in a separate email, or actually just attached to the same email, so you'll have that. I'll just say see email with details. We have a series of on-campus presenters, and so those that were not mentioned in the 3 that I just said are all from campus. Speaker time or speaker talks and times, it's all indicated in the schedule above. Any events during the conference times, lunch and workshops. Lunch is the same time every single day from 1 to 2. We can present that again as on the schedule, so if you want to have the little column areas, maybe a bar in the middle of each of those things shows when lunch is, and then we can decide if something like posting the menu options is applicable or appropriate. Here's a quick welcoming message or the summary of the event. I sort of did this. Again, the stuff in bold, Cafe Week. This is what it's called currently. It could be called the Center for Teaching and Learning later. Oops, sorry, I just saw a typo. Just kidding, you didn't see that. There will be a Qualtrics link associated with this. I can show you how to create one if you want to help me with this. This is just one more thing. Sorry, I have so much on my plate right now. A Qualtrics link that has a link to the survey. We can talk about this on Tuesday. When I see you, I will be out on Monday. And I'll show you how to create a Qualtrics survey so that we can send this out to the university-wide dissemination of emails. Then again, lunch and light refreshments provided for each of the workshops. Quotes, I will get back to you on that, and I'll send that in the same email. So I'll go ahead and the email with details. It'll be in that same email, so it's all together. Okay. Thanks again, Pomona, and let me know if you have any questions. Send me an email, and I'll also send you some additional contact information in case you can't get a hold of me there. All right, thanks. Bye.